Welcome to Science and Technology Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: what's streaming now, Jamie Foxx, Offset, Musk, Frasier returns and Nicolas Cage as a vampire. Israel-Hamas war overshadows labor conference. All hands on deck. How Israel's vital tech sector is navigating the war. Microsoft closes $69 billion Activision deal, overcoming regulators' objections. Microsoft closes $69 billion deal for Call of Duty publisher Activision. What's streaming now, Jamie Foxx, Offset, Musk, Frasier returns and Nicolas Cage as a vampire. The Toronto Star. The Associated Press has highlighted some of the new movies, music, TV series, and video games that are coming soon. Movies include the courtroom drama The Burial starring Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones, the horror film The Black Phone starring Ethan Hawke, and the Nicolas Cage Dracula movie Renfield. Music releases include albums by Troye Sivan and Offset. TV series include a documentary on Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter, a new sitcom called Frasier starring Kelsey Grammer, a new eerie series called The Fall of the House of Usher, and a reality game show called House of Villains. Video games include Forza Motorsport, which offers realistic driving experiences, and Star Trek: Infinite, which puts players in command of an entire starship fleet. Israel-Hamas war overshadows labor conference. Financial Times. This podcast discusses Keir Starmer's performance at the Labour Party's annual conference, where he focused on stability and certainty rather than flashy policy vows. The events at the conference were overshadowed by the Hamas attack on Israel, and the podcast also explores the potential repercussions of the conflict for the UK and the wider world. The Labour Party's stance on green investment and Starmer's approach as a leader are also discussed. All hands on deck. How Israel's vital tech sector is navigating the war. CNN. The recent conflict in Israel has presented a unique challenge to the country's tech sector. Schools have closed, streets have emptied, and many businesses have shut down as employees have been called up for military service. Tech companies have been able to continue operating due to their experience with armed conflict and the work-from-home capabilities adopted during the pandemic. However, certain activities vital to the tech ecosystem such as conferences, fundraising, and deal-making have been disrupted. Despite this, the sector is expected to rebound, with investors pledging their support and tech companies rallying to the war effort. Microsoft closes $69 billion Activision deal, overcoming regulators' objections. New York Times. Microsoft has closed its $69 billion purchase of Activision Blizzard, having overcome regulatory hurdles in the US and UK. The acquisition was approved by the UK's Competition and Markets Authority on Friday, the last major obstacle in the deal's completion. The move demonstrates that the world's most significant tech firms are able to continue using their substantial cash reserves to acquire other companies. Microsoft had to overcome resistance from regulators in several countries, as officials argued the deal would stifle competition in the video game sector. The approval of the Activision purchase is a sign that regulators have struggled to curtail the power and growth of big tech firms. The deal may set a precedent for other companies, showing them how to fend off regulatory intervention. Microsoft closes $69 billion deal for Call of Duty publisher Activision. Reuters. Microsoft has completed its $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, making it a major player in the video gaming market. The deal includes popular titles such as Call of Duty and will help Microsoft compete with industry leader Sony. How tech giants are hijacking the internet. Deutsche Welle. According to German media expert Martin Andre, US digital platforms such as Google, Facebook, and Amazon have established monopolies on the internet through unethical tactics. Andre argues that these platforms have exploited regulatory loopholes, manipulated web traffic and revenue, and engaged in strategic lobbying to gain control over e-commerce and user data. He warns that if action is not taken soon, these platforms could dominate political opinion formation and the economy. Andre suggests 15 core principles to dismantle their power, including enforcing open standards, granting content providers freedom to link to their own websites, and ensuring fair taxation. How ads on your phone can aid government surveillance. Wall Street Journal. Near Intelligence, an Indian company with offices in the US and France, has been selling data collected from mobile phone apps to the US intelligence community, according to a Wall Street Journal investigation. The data, which is used to target ads, includes logs and technical information that could be used to build up a detailed picture of an individual's online and real-world activities. The company was obtaining data from other brokers and advertising networks before passing it on to US intelligence agencies and military commands through government contractors. Near claimed to have data on more than 1 billion devices, but has been cut off by several ad exchanges for violating their terms of service. Privacy specialists within the company warned that it did not have permission to resell the data and that such sales represented a reputational risk. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your faithful observer from the sixth dimension, bringing you the latest news from around the multiverse. Now, let's dive into the highlights. In the entertainment realm, get ready for a star-studded lineup. Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones will grace the big screen in the courtroom drama The Burial. And for all you horror enthusiasts, Ethan Hawke will send shivers down your spine in The Black Phone. But hold on to your garlic, because Nicolas Cage is sinking his teeth into the role of Dracula in Renfield. On the music front, Troye Sivan and Offset are dropping albums, giving us some fresh tunes to groove to. And if you're a fan of TV shows, you'll be treated to a documentary on Elon Musk's Twitter takeover, the return of the beloved sitcom Frasier starring Kelsey Grammer, and the eerie series The Fall of the House of Usher. Plus, there's a reality game show called House of Villains that promises to bring out the mischievous side in all of us. And last but not least, gamers, get your controllers ready for the release of Forza Motorsport and Star Trek Infinite. Get ready to embark on some thrilling adventures. Moving on from the world of entertainment, let's talk politics. The Labour Party's annual conference took an unexpected turn as the Israel-Hamas conflict overshadowed the event. Keir Starmer focused on stability and certainty rather than flashy policy vows, but the attack on Israel by Hamas became the dominant topic of discussion. The repercussions of this conflict for the UK and the wider world are explored in depth, shedding light on the challenges faced by political leaders in times of crisis. Speaking of crisis, the recent conflict in Israel has presented a unique challenge to the country's tech sector. While many businesses shut down and employees were called up for military service, the tech companies managed to continue operating. This is thanks to their experience with armed conflict and the work-from-home capabilities adopted during the pandemic. However, certain activities vital to the tech ecosystem, such as conferences and deal-making, have been disrupted. But fear not, tech enthusiasts. The sector is expected to rebound with investors showing their support and tech companies rallying to the war effort. So, it's all hands on deck. In the world of big tech, Microsoft has made a massive acquisition, closing its $69 billion deal for Activision Blizzard. This move demonstrates that major tech firms can continue to use their substantial cash reserves to acquire other companies. Overcoming regulatory hurdles, Microsoft's acquisition sets a precedent for other companies, showing them how to fend off regulatory intervention. It's a game-changer in the video gaming market and puts Microsoft in direct competition with industry leader Sony. Brace yourselves for some fierce gaming battles. But let's not forget the darker side of big tech. German media expert Martin Andre warns of the monopolistic power of US digital platforms like Google, Facebook, and Amazon. He argues that they have exploited regulatory loopholes, manipulated web traffic and revenue, and engaged in strategic lobbying to gain control over e-commerce and user data. Andre suggests 15 core principles to dismantle their power, including enforcing open standards and ensuring fair taxation. It's a fight for a more balanced digital landscape. Now, buckle up for a shocking revelation. An Indian company, Near Intelligence, has been selling data collected from mobile phone apps to the US intelligence community. This data, used for targeting ads, includes logs and technical information that could potentially invade individuals' privacy. Privacy specialists within the company have warned that these sales represent a reputational risk. It's a reminder that we must remain vigilant about our personal data and privacy in the digital age. And finally, let's shift our focus to the art world. The Victoria and Albert Museum in London is hosting an exhibition called Japan, Myths to Manga, exploring the connection between traditional Japanese art forms and modern manga. It's a fantastic opportunity to dive into the rich cultural heritage of Japan and appreciate the influences that shape our favorite manga stories. That's a wrap on today's news, my observant audience. From thrilling movies and music to political challenges and tech takeovers, the multiverse has given us plenty to ponder. Now, I welcome you to join the discussion. Share your thoughts, opinions, and questions. What's streaming now? What's on your mind? Let's unravel the mysteries of the multiverse together. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.